Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Jaya Jagi Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamarine Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre Nugam Karodi Vachalam Pangam Langhayade Girim Yatkrabatamaham Vande Viguram Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. Hare Krishna. Welcome back to Bhagavad Gita study class. As it is chapter 6, Jnana Yoga. Today's verse 7, 8 and 9. We read verse 7. Jidatmanha prashandasya paramatma samahida shidoshna sugadukeshu tatha manapamanayoho. Jidatmanah prashandasya paramatma samahidaha shidoshna sughadukeshu tatha manapamanayoho. Jidatmana prashandasya paramatma samahidaha Shitoshna sugadukeshu tatha manapamanayoho. Right, Renuka Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahitaha shitoshna sugadukeshu tata manapamanayoho. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right. Jayapradha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jitatmanaha prashannasya paramatma samahitaha shitoshna sukhadukeshu tatha manapamanayoha.
Tatha manapamanayoho.
Tatha manapamanayoha.
Okay, right. Hare Krishna. Rekha Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jitatmanaha prashantasya paramatma samahitaha Shitoshna sukadukeshu tatha manapamanayo.
Renuka Mataji, you can read the translation.
For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. Hare
8.
Krishna.
Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kudastha Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchade Yogi Samaloshashma Kanchanaha Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kudasto Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchade Yogi Samaloshashma Kanchanaha Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kudasto Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchade Yogi Samaloshashma Kanchanaha. Right. Aridunga Maji.
Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kudasto Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchate Yogi Samaloshtra Shamatkanchanaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jayaprada Maji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Jnana Vijnana Truptatma Kutasto Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchate Yogi Samaloshnaatma Kanchanaha.
Loshtrashma.
Samaloshnaatma Kanchanaha.
Right.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Rekha Mataji.
Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutasto Vijitendriyaha Yukta Yogi
We can't hear you.
Kanchanaha.
Very low. Voice is very, very low. Very, very low.
1 minute, Prabhu. Now, Prabhu, now is it okay?
That's okay now.
Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutasto Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchate Yogi Samaloshtrasma Kanchanaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You can read the translation also.
A person is said to be established in self-realization and is called a yogi or maestri when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such a person is situated in transcendental and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it be pebbles, stones, or gold, as the same. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Text 9. Suhrum mitrari udasina Madhyastha Dveshabandhushu Sadhushvavi Chapaveshu Samabuddhir Vishishyade Suhran Mitrari Udasina Madhyastha Dveshabandhushu Sadhushvavi Chapaveshu Samabuddhir Vishishyade Suhran Mitrari Udasina Madhyastha Dveshabandhushu Sadhushvavi Chapaveshu Samabuddhir Vishishyade. Yes, Jayaprada Mataji. Okay, now wait, Renuga Mataji.
Suhran Mitrari Yudasina
Suhan Mitra Ari. Suhan Mitrari Udasina. Mitrari Udasina.
Mitrari Udasina Madhyastha Dvesha Bandhushu Sadhushu Apicha Papeshu Samabuddhi
Vishishyade.
Buddhi Vishishyade. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right. Rekha Mataji.
Suhun Mitrari Dasina Madhyastha Bandhusu Sadhusu Apicha Papeshu Sama Buddhir Vishishyate. Hare Krishna.
Right. Jayaprada Mataji. Suhran.
Suran
Mitrari. Pronounce it easily. Suran Mitrari Udasina.
Suran Mitrari Udasina
Madhyastha
Prabhu
Madhyastha Dvesha Bandhushu.
Madhyastha Dvesha Bandhushu Sadhushvapi Cha Papeshu Samarbuddhi Vishishyate. Samarbuddhi Vishishyate.
Right.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, Snigdha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it is sloka
Hare
number
You have to read, can read 7, 8, and 9 together.
Okay, Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jitatmana prasantasya paramatma samahita. Shitoshna sukha dukkhasu tatha manapamanayoho. Sloka number 8. Jnana Vijnana Truptatma Kutosto Vichitendriya Jukto Ichuchate Yogi Samalostra Kanchanaha. Sloka number 9. Sruhu Nitrajudasina Madhyastadvesha Bandhushu Sadhushu Picha Papeshu Samabudhi Vishishyate. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Can you read the translation also?
Yes, it's of 10, no?
9, 9.
9.
Just what you read, Sun Mitrari Udasina. That verse translation. Read.
Okay, Prabhuji. A person is said to be still further advanced when he regards all the honest, well-wisher, friends and enemies, the envious, the pious, the sinner, and those who are indifferent and impartial with an equal mind. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Right. Om Jnanatimanandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chachurunmeridam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthavidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadandigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udavadagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamstam Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagana Raghunadanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivishagan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagalpade Gopesha Goviga Kanda Radha Kanda Namaste Taptaga Anjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpadruvescha Kriva Sindhubhyeva cha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swaminidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Jidatmanha Prashandasya Paramatma Samahidaha Shidoshna Sukadukeshu Tada Manapamanayo. For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. To such a person, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. So, Krishna is speaking about the Yoga Rudha, a person, Yoga Rudha. Who is Yoga Arukshor or Yoga Rudha? Who is Yoga Arukshor and who is Yoga Rudha?
One who has attained your tranquility.
Yes, Redakamaji, you should speak clearly.
One who has attained tranquility is Yoga Rudha.
Yeah. That is a quality of a person who has. Actually, what do you mean by Yoga Rudha? And who is Yoga Aruksho?
Aruksha, a person who is trying to be in yoga?
Yes, trying to climb the ladder. It's a ladder, no?
Yeah.
Yes,
There's a
yes.
ladder, and there are so many rungs in the ladder. The first rung is Karma Yoga, the second one is Jnana Yoga, third one is Dhyana Yoga, and the fourth one is
Bhakti Yoga.
Bhakti Yoga. So, a person who is now entering the spiritual life and trying to elevate himself, he is called Aruruksho. And for him, karma, he has to do action. He has works added up. He has to execute all his prescribed duties. The person who has reached the top, who is Yoga Rudha, the top, he is no longer obliged to do any work. So, what are the qualities of the Yoga Rudha? In the case of Dhyana Yoga, the Dhyana Yogi has now reached the Yoga Rudha stage. Now, Krishna, before describing the process of Dhyana Yoga, he's first describing the person who has already reached that state. He is describing the qualities. Then from 10th onwards up to 32, he will reach how he has reached that position by describing the process of this Dhyana Yoga. Now, these verse 7, 8, and 9 describes a person who has already reached that state. And there are one aspect of control here. In all the processes, there are always control. And you know, this Karma Yoga, it is, this one is, you have to control senses. And now, Dhyana Yoga, it is karma, mind. And that is described in verse 5 and 6. And we have seen that Udhreda Manatmanam, Natmanam Avasadeit, Atmeva hi Atmano Bandhur, Atmeva Rivaratmanaha. Because mind is containing all this false ego. Mind is a stowaway of all the gunas, the shad doshas, all the shad dosha, everything is contained in the mind only. Mind acts at different levels. You know, chitta means when mind is attracted to something, it's called chitta. Like Krishna, we say Chittahari. Sometimes Krishna is known as Chittahari because he steals our mind. So chitta, that aspect of mind which is always attracted to some object or a person is called chitta. That aspect of the mind which is totally body conscious is called ahankara. And that aspect of the mind which contains all those gunas and all the thoughts, that is called actually the mind itself. So mind, if a person has got a very controlled mind, he can be elevated and he'll be able to execute any work. He's completely free to do anything. He has that capacity, he attains that the capacity or capability or power to do some very amazing work, which is not possible for any person, ordinary person. Like Srila Prabhupada, at the age of 70, just 40 rupees in his pocket, he traveled to United States in a cargo ship. And in the journey, during the journey, he suffered 2 major heart attacks. Still, when he reached America, United States, he didn't have any contacts at all. Actually, he didn't know whether to turn left or to turn right. No contacts, nobody to support him, nobody to help him. Totally wandering in a very foreign, strange land. But Krishna was always with him. So he was able to establish himself. And within a year, he established the ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Because his mind is always the feet of Krishna. Savai Krishna Padaravindayo, Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindayo. His mind is always with the lotus feet of Krishna. He was always composed. He's in tranquility, always in tranquility. He's never disturbed. He's never agitated in any situation. He says whatever it is coming to his way, he says by the destiny of man, by the will of Krishna only. And within a span of next 10 years, he constructed more than 110 temples in all the 5 continents of the world. This is really amazing, mind-blowing actually. How a person is 70 years old and is able to do all this, and he traveled the world about 13 times, 12 times. All around the world for 12 times he did. He'll stay in one place only for 1 month or 2 months, then he'll shift to the next temple. And like that, he will go around all the years. Because his mind is totally controlled. He's not at all agitated. So he was able to achieve so much tremendous feats. So the person who has controlled his mind becomes his friend. Mind becomes his greatest supporter, greatest helper. And one who has not able to control his mind, he becomes the greatest enemy. Because mind always needs to be controlled. Mind always needs a superior authority. On its own, it can create havoc. So either you can be under the Prakriti, the external knowledge of Krishna, or you can be under guidance of Krishna, directly under the control of Krishna, directly following the instructions of Krishna. So the mind is acting on behalf of Krishna, on instructions of Krishna. That is called Prashanta. Prashanta. Prashanta means to ascertain tranquility. So Yamunacharya, one of our acharyas, great acharyas in the Sri Parampara. You are familiar with this name, Yamunacharya? Are you familiar? So many times we have mentioned,
Yes,
even so many purports, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned Yamunacharya. Yamunacharya is a guru or acharya of Ramanacharya, and he has composed very nice literatures, and one of those is called Stotra Ratna. And Srila Prabhupada in point 2.56 is quoting from Stotra Ratna, and 2.60 is quoting from Stotra Ratna. So acharyas are there, and Yamunacharya, he has quoted Yamunacharya several times. One shloka is say, Yamunacharya is Bhavandam evam anucharan nirantaraha. Bhavandam eva anucharan nirantaraha prashant nishesha manorathantara. He says Bhavantam. Bhavantam means Krishna himself. You. Bhavandam eva anucharan nirantara. When we are totally constantly following, constantly serving Krishna, Prashant Nishesha Mano Rathantra. Ratha Antara. Mana Ratha means desires other than serving Krishna. Antara. Rathant, Mana Rathantara. Manaratha. We have the word called Manoratham. Manoratham means the desires of the mind. So Manoratha Andara means desires other than serving Krishna. So the Prashanta person, Prashanta means by constantly serving the lotus feet of Krishna, he has attained the tranquility by which there is no other desire other than serving Krishna. Such a person is called Prashanta. Prashanta. Prashanta means peaceful in a very special way. Pradushta Rubasya Shanta. Prashanta. So, one who has controlled his mind, he is become Prashanta, and he is fit for Paramatma realization. He has already reached Paramatma. And what are the qualities of who are spiritual? That is given in next few lines. Shidoshna sugadukeshu tadha manapmanayoho. Is equal in cold and heat, happiness and sorrow, honor and dishonor. Everything is same for him. These are different aspects of situations of the material things. These are all modifications of the material elements, which is sensory perception. These are all sensory perceptions. Sorrow, happiness, all those things, honor, dishonor, can change continuously. It is temporary and always flickering, shifting, and now remaining the same thing, always changing continuously. So he is totally neutral to these things. Udasina is one way. Udasina means he is not affected by this. He is neutral to this. We'll get an example when you come to verse 9, when we speak of Udasina. So, Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kudastha Vijidendriyaha Yukta Ityuchide Yogi Samanoshtrashma Kanchanaha. So, this person is has got both bookish knowledge. I mean, he is very learned in scriptures, Upanishads, everything he knows. By Krishna's mercy, he has been able to understand all this. He has learned everything. And based on this, he has realized himself. Now, scriptural knowledge and realized knowledge are both different. Scriptural knowledge, all those persons, every jnanis can have. Bhaktas can also have scriptural knowledge. And the methods or the process adopted by jnani and bhakta are different. The process of jnani, or you can say the Mayavadis, it's called Shravanam, Smaranam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. So Shravanam and Smaranam are common for both bhaktas and jnanis. You have to hear, you have to learn first. You have to understand scriptures first. You have the Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Everything you have to listen. But after reading or hearing this, how the essence we are, internalized. The method used by the Jnana Yogis and he has hearing and Shravanam, Smaranam, remembering, and then Mananam, contemplating, and Nididhyasana, arriving to a conclusion. So sometimes it will be different for different jnanas. Their conclusions may be different, depending on the ability to contemplate. So Mananam depends on the clarity of the intelligence, how sharp one's intelligence is, how clear one's intelligence is. This Mananam, this contemplation will be higher and lower. So jnanis are different kinds of jnanis based on knowledge and based on intellect. The jnanis are differently based. But in the case of bhakta, now this is a self-effort. This is called ascending process. They're trying to doing the contemplation on their own and realizing and coming to different conclusions. Mahabharata, this verse called Tarka Apradishta Shrudhyam Vibhinna. Nasa Muni Yasya Madam Nabinnam. Tarka Apradishta Shrudhyam Vibhinna. Scriptures are so many different scriptures are there. So many, thousands and thousands and thousands of scriptures in Indian Vedic system. You find that life, spiritual, this one, there's so many books, spiritual books. Darshana means philosophy, because there are Shad Darshana is there. 6 philosophers are there. Gautama, Kanada, Jaimini, and then you have Ashtavakra, Kapila, and Patanjali. Apart from Vyasa. So apart from Vyasa, there are other 6 great philosophers are there. Most of their conclusion or the philosophies are based on Vedas only. And so many scriptures are there. And different people have added different opinions. So Mahabharata says, Nasa Rishi Yasya Madam Nabintam. Nasa Rishi Yasya Madam Nabintam. You are not qualified to be a Rishi if you don't have your own opinion, or you don't have your own conclusion, or your own version of or your own philosophy, your own darshan. So a Rishi is known by his particular personal darshan. Like that, there are so many darshans, so many philosophies are there, all acquiring knowledge, all trying to elevate themselves by their own dint of their own efforts. But in case of Bhakta, it is different. Shveta Shodram Varshad says, Yasya deve para bhakti yadha deve tadho guru tasye vahi kadidahi artham prakashandi mahatmanaha. Yasya deve para bhakti, one who has got unflinching devotion to Krishna. Yadha deve tadha guru, to Krishna as well as Guru. Tasyevahi kadadahi artha, unto him only the essence of knowledge is revealed. So what Bhakta do, they also read scriptures, and after that they don't contemplate on their own. They follow the instruction of Krishna as it is, what is given in scriptures, and render devotion service to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada is quoting from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu here. Ada Shri Krishna Namadi na bhave grahim indriyahi sevon mugehi juhvado swayam eva sviradiyara. So Krishna is not realized by your senses. He is realized by rendering service, and service is starting from your tongue. Jihvado. Sevon mukehi jihvado. Jihva adi. Jihva means tongue. So the service starts from first one tongue, and tongue has got two different service. Which are the 2 different service tongue can have?
Talking and
Taste
eating.
and eating.
Yes. Right, Maharaji?
Eating and talking.
Eating and talking. Yeah, you're right. Eating and talking is correct. But from a devotion point of view, how do you term that? Are you just simply talking?
Sankirtan. Doing
Sankirtan or Kirtan, you can say
and
Nama
eating
Japa,
prasadam.
and taking prasadam. Talking and eating is correct. So talking means Japa only. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And eating means eating prasadam only. Yes, for karmis, normally people, tongue has got 2 functions, talking and eating. Also, same thing for bhaktas only. So superficial, now you can see that, actually we are and the karmis are doing the same thing. He is talking, we are also talking. He is eating, we are also eating. He is talking nonsense, we are chanting Hare Krishna. He is talking, eating all the junk food, we are eating prasad. Superficially, we are eating and they are eating, and they are talking and we are talking. Anyway, you rightly identified the functions of the tongue anyway. So, Jihva sevan mogehi jihvado swayam eva spridiyada. So same way in Shivda Shudra you find that Yasadevi para bhakti yadha devi tada guru. So chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, serving Krishna, and following the instructions of Guru. A person who has got 100% capacity to execute the instructions of Guru, 100%, he will be placed at topmost. Person who is chanting very nicely, sincerely, ardently, with intently, without any diversion, and maximum number of rounds, he will be highly praised. So the gradation in the among the bhaktas depend on two factors: how he chants and how he follows instructions of Guru. And then these devotees are differently placed, not like jnanis. Jnanis on their own strength. So jnana vijnana triptatma. Vijnana means one realized knowledge. Realized knowledge come through by serving. Serving Krishna and serving the instructions of Guru. Kutastha. Kutastha means always placed in one way. He is not deviating. In the material scenario, you'll find the senses are always interacting with situations which are changing permanently, always changing, always changing. Situations will now remain the same. Seasonal changes are there. So many political, seasonal, social, always changes are taking place. Normal changes are taking place. And the senses are always interacting with these changes. So senses are prey for these changing situations, but the person who is totally in tranquility, who is composed, is not affected by this. That's why he says kutastha. Kutastha means spiritually situated. Spiritual situated means he is not disturbed by material tranquility, tribulations. Vijitendriya, one who has senses. For him, yukta iti chudha yogi, he is fit to be liberated or fit for a yoga ruda station. And once he has reached that, for him, sama loshtrashna kanchana. For him, mud, dirt, pebbles, gold, everything is the same. Because he knows that everything is a transformation of the earth only. Gold as well as pebbles, as well as dirt, everything is going from earth only. It doesn't find any value, a specific value for this, unless they are applied, put in the service of Krishna. That is the highest state. The point of their origin, everything is the same. The mud is there, some gold is coming from mud only. So many things are coming out of mud, earth. So for him, everything is the same. But for Karmi, he finds pebbles. He'll throw away the pebbles and he'll eagerly go for the gold. So for a person who has is acting under instruction of a guru and rendering devotional service to Krishna, for him, mere knowledge is like pebbles. Mere knowledge is like pebbles. Scholarship, in mundane scholarship, this one is not attracted by that. You will find many of these spiritual leaders, Maharajas, they are not well versed in Sanskrit. Their pronunciation is awful, really. So people try to love him. He cannot even pronounce the verse correctly. But when you look at his conscious level, and you look at the conscious level of this one, the Jnani, there's a vast difference. The man in ISKCON may not have read so many books as a Jnani has done, because Jnani's preoccupation is books only. We have so many different activities, Navadha, lot of activities. So we contain or limit ourselves to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Bhakti Shastras written by our Acharyas. That is a vast one. But basically, these 4 books are enough. Unless you are a teacher in Gurukula. ISKCON has got Gurukulas many places. So those who are giving instructors, like we have this Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, so many courses are there. And the teachers of this Vaibhava, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, they are reading more books. Like we have that Shat Sandarbha of Jiva Goswami, contains about 5 lakhs verses. So many books are like that, vast books, voluminous books are there. But it is not necessary for us to read all those books. Essentially, these 4 books are enough. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then, of course, we have this Nectar of Instruction. That is also very good one. And other some books written by Srila Prabhupada, explaining different aspects or different chapters of Bhagavad Gita and different, we can say, themes in Bhagavad and Bhagavad Gita. So in next verse, Krishna talks about a person who is even more highly placed. Now this yogi, because of the dint of his controlled mind, tranquility mind, and who has controlled his senses, everything is done. So for him, everything is the same. All these objects are the same. Now a person who is still higher placed, for him, Suhan, Mitra, Ari, Udasina, Madhyastha, Dvesha, Bandhushu, Sadhushya, Vicha, Papeshu, Samabuddhir, Vishishire. So 9 persons are mentioned here. Now these are not persons, these are not objects. These are persons. Loshtra, Ashma, Kanchana, these are all objects, particles. But the 9 things are mentioned here are all persons. Suhun. Suhun means a person who is always well-wisher for everyone. Is a well-wisher for not a particular person, everyone. Krishna is well-wisher for everyone. Which is the verse? Krishna is a friend of everyone. Which verse? Every one of you have placed that pentathlon, but still you don't remember the verse. When you ask that, which is the verse?
It is 29. It is
Yes.
5.29.
Yes.
Bhoktarang Jagyatapasa Sarvaloko Maheswaram Suhudam Sarvabhutanam Gyantamam
Yes.
Santi Gacchati.
Suhudam Sarvabhutana. Correct. That person is attaining this peace. So Krishna is a friend of everyone. So it means he's benign nature. He is always wishing good for others. Then Mitra means when you are wishing something for good, because out of affection, a personal affection, a particular affection. Suppose one person likes A, likes B. Also, he would like to have affection for this person B, because he is very affectionate towards this particular person. So that is particular. Ari means Ari actually, Vishwan Thakur says killer. Ari means killer, means he's a very cruel person. He always like to see Ari's enemy. Yes, Ari's enemy, but it is also Ari means is mentioned as killer also. In the sense of a person who is now there, for him, this enemy means one who is trying to destroy you, isn't it? Enemy means one who is destroying you, and enemy of the humankind, or all the people means a person who is interested in inflicting harm on everyone. Now you find Ari, then later you'll find Dvesha also. Now Suhan and Mitra, difference between Suhan and Mitra is Suhan is general interest and welfare all the persons. Mitra means particular person is liking. Same way, Ari is a person who is always doing harm to others. And Dvesha means one person who is envious particularly to another person. Like 2 brothers or 2 friends or something like some petty jealousies may be, envious may be there. So one person becomes particular envious to another person particularly. Udasina means one who is neutral in all circumstances. Udasina means is neutral in pleasure and everything like that. Like we have seen Sugadukeshu, Shidoshna Sugadukeshu, Damana Panayo, singles. These persons
Matra Sparsastu Kamteyo Sitoshna Sukha Dukkada.
Ayamata Spasha Sukadeya, yes. Shidoshna Sugadukada. So this is, he understands that he is above all these things, Udasina. Is neutral. In our Acharya Parampara, we have Acharya called known as Gaurakishore Babaji. Who is Gaurakishore Babaji?
Guru of Saraswati Goswami.
Guru of?
Saraswati Goswami.
Yes.
Okay.
Guru of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami. Guru of is Gaurakishore Babaji. You have to see all those acharyas in our parampara. That 22 acharyas. You have to know who is a guru, who is a disciple. Should be thorough with that. So Gaurakishore Babaji actually hails from Bangladesh, and then he shifted to Vrindavan. Many years in Vrindavan. Then he came back to Bengal. So when he wasn't coming to Bengal, or when he was he is about Avadhu's behavior is like Avadhu. Some eccentricity, outward eccentricity is there. For person, some others, he may feel because he may not properly dressed. He may not have properly taken food and maybe he will not clean himself. Not very careful about his general attire. And not very very polite to others. I mean, in a social convention model. So it's totally different. And then what happened was some people, some boys and other miscreants started throwing stones at him. So when he was hit with stones, he was telling Krishna, "Oh Krishna, I'm going to complain against you to Yashoda Mataji and Nanda Babaji. You have done this." So outwardly, he's totally neutral. People are throwing stones at him. He's not feeling at all. But he's playfully, he's rebuking Krishna. Because the devotee knows that whatever is happening to him is Krishna, according to will of Krishna only. So when someone is throwing a stone at him, he knows that it's because of Krishna's will only. And he's accepting that. But he is such elevated. Now there's a very great mellows between Krishna and Gaurakishore Babaji. So Gaurakishore Babaji is telling Krishna, is chastising Krishna, says, now I am going to complain against you. I'm giving a complaint against you to Nanda Babaji and Yashoda Mataji. Let's see what happens. So these are very highly placed. He is not simply Udasina. He is Udasina to material things. He is not bothered about external things. But at the same time, he's got intense attachment to Krishna. When you come to the 14th chapter, you'll find how a person becomes out of gunas. Because he becomes Udasina, he becomes neutral to all the gunas. At the same time, he becomes intensely attached to Krishna. Because the nature of our soul is that he's always active. You cannot remain passive. You cannot remain neutral always. So he has to attach somewhere. The more fiercely, more intensely you attach to Krishna, the more you will be neutral to the material things or external happenings. People are throwing stones at him. He's not bothered at all. He's just speaking to Krishna only. So how they are highly placed they are. What is the level of consciousness? How great they are, great devotees of Krishna they are. Madhyastha means one who is trying to bring about reconciliation between two warring factions. Madhyastha. Dvesha means envious, and Bandhushu means one person who is, because of relationship, family relationship, one is affection to that person. That's 7. And then Sadhushu Abhichavik property. Sadhu means saintly person who is following Dharma. Pavi means a sinful person who is adharmi. And this yogi is same. Samabuddhi means he is equal. He is totally equal. Pandidaha Samadarshina. No, you can be very neutral to objects. Okay, so when you reach some levels, you may lose attractions for gold and all those things. But to get over to treat Duryodhana as well as Bhima or Arjuna same way. I mean, we come to 6th chapter, Arjuna will say that he is not able to see Duryodhana in the same manner as others. When you how you can treat the friend and a foe at the equal level, at par, it's not possible for any person. You always have leanings towards your friends or your well-wishers. But in case of bhaktas, we have another this one. Like Madhyama Adhikari, we have tremendous love for Krishna, attachment for a guru's, friendship with our co-brothers in the same level. And then we have got compassion for the persons who are below us. And then we are neutral to envious. This is a symptom of a Madhyama Adhikari. Love for Krishna, friendship with your equals, be God brothers, compassion for people who are starters, and neutral to the envious. The envious means who is enemy of Krishna, who is envious of Krishna, envious of Vaishnavas. You become very neutral. You just reject him. You don't have any association with him. So, by following the principles of Krishna consciousness, a person is automatically elevated. He knows how to deal with these people. He sees everyone as part and parcel of Krishna only. Everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. So he is able to see everyone at equal par. But a person who is more attached to Krishna, even Krishna is like, ye yadhamam prapadyante tam sadeva bhajamyaham. Same way, the devotee also, the devotee relationships with others, for devotees, they have affection. We always have nectar of instructions, so we deals with that only. You should read the nectar of instruction thoroughly, many times. He is trying to associate himself with the senior colleagues, senior devotees, senior Vaishnavas. And he's trying to bring up the juniors, and he's neutral to the envious. So such a person is even more highly placed. Now, of course, Uttamadhikari is there. Beyond that, Uttamadhikari is there. Uttamadhikari sees no difference at all. But for preaching, you need to be a Madhyamadhikari. Otherwise, it's difficult to preach. So, three different levels in Vaishnava concept: Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. So, this person is Uttamadhikari. The Yoga Ruda person is Uttamadhikari only. This is everyone equal. There is no difference between foe and friend. So now, Krishna concludes in 3 verses the qualifications or the specific qualities of a person who has reached the Yogaruda stage. And now from verse 10 onwards to 32, he will explain the process by which this stage has been reached. Hare Krishna. So from next week onwards, we'll be having only 2 classes on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Because Wednesday and Thursday, because of a temple project, I'm quite busy with this. The project is going very slowly, so I'm also cut shorting that 2 classes in morning session also. So Monday and Thursday, there will not be any class. Morning session or evening session will not be there. Wednesday and Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Friday and Saturday will be classes. In morning class, Monday and Tuesday we'll have Srimad Bhagavatam, Friday Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Saturday again Bhagavatam. So 3 classes of Bhagavatam and 1 Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Bhagavad Gita, we'll have weekly 2 classes, both English and Malayalam. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any doubts? Jayaprada Mataji, you have reached the stage of raising doubts?
Prabhuji.
Yeah, you can shoot, then you can ask.
Shravanam, Manamam, other two, I didn't know.
What is it? Shravanam. Oh, Shravanam, Smaranam,
Okay.
Shravanam. Shravanam means hearing. See, we have in case of Bhaktas, Srimad Bhagavatam speaks about Navadha, 9 poses. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. I'll do one thing, I'll quote that verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, so that it is very famous. And Navadha means it's very famous. Everyone knows about Navadha. These are the 9 poses which the Vaishnavas follow. The Mayavadis or Jnanis, they follow Shravanam, Smaranam, Mananam. Mananam means contemplation. And Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana means arriving at a conclusion.
Last one, Prabhu?
Nididhasanam. Nididhasanam.
Nididhasanam. Manana means arriving.
Manana means contemplating. So you read something, then you remember that, constant remembrance, and after remembrance, you contemplate on that. You think a lot on that. That is what could be the essence of meaning. Of course, based on teachings of Guru, everything may be there, but you are trying to contemplate on the particular person, and it depends on your intellect. How sharp you are, how clear is your intelligence. Depending on that, you are arriving at conclusions. So Manana means contemplating on what you have heard or what you have studied.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, Snigdhamaji.
Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Praladadaine, Hiranyagashi Purvakshaha, Silatankana Khalai, Ito Narsinho Parato Narsinho, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsinho, Vahi Narsinha Hridaye Narsinha, Narsinha Madi Sharanang Prapade, Tabakara Kamalabade, Nakha Madhuta Srungam, Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhrungam, Isha Badrita Narahari Rupa, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Narsingadev, 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 Jaya Narsingadev, Jaya Narahari, 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 Jaya Narahari, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Ugrang Birang Mahavishnum Jolantang Sarvamukam Nrsimhang Vishanang Bhadrang Mrityu Mrityu Namamyam Ugrang Birang Mahavishnum Jolantang Sarvatomukam Nrsimhang Vishanang Bhadrang Mrityu Mrityu Namamyam Ugrang Birang Mahavishnum Jolantang Sarvatomukam Nrsimhang Vishanang Bhadrang Mrityu Namamyam Nrsimha Jai Nrsimha Jaya Padma Padma Bhrunga Sri Narsimha Jai Jai Sri Narsimha Prahlade Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhrunga सर्व विघ्न विनाशक नरसिंह भगवान की जय।
Jai. Vanchakalpadruvishcha.
कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
Nandapuri Vaishnava Vrinda ki.
जय
Srila Prabhupada ki.
जय।
Jai. Go.